The bus ride was uncomfortable with my hands tightly bound to a pole beside my seat. The girls behind me were chatting and playing games while the counselors exchanged gossip about crushes and summer excitement. My 7 friends were scattered across the bus, each of us restrained like I was. I sighed and closed my eyes. We were leaving New York and heading toward Pennsylvania. Maybe it's some kind of prank or initiation, I thought, taking a deep breath. We were on our way to Camp Emerald Lake, which according to the brochure was known for its emerald-tinted lake, crystal clear and beautiful. When my mom had given me the brochure, I laughed. It looked like a luxury retreat, bunk beds, nature, cabins. It was the nicest camp on the East Coast. I smiled again, excited to see it for myself. Behind me, the girls were still talking and playing cards. "So, what do you think this year will be like?" asked the blonde girl on my left as she sat down, a queen of hearts. "I hope they have the same great staff as last year. I heard Sarah, the owner, brought in a lot of improvements," the brunette on my right replied, placing 4 aces on the table. "I win," she said, grinning. I opened my clear blue eyes, feeling the warmth of the sunlight streaming through the window. The birds were singing as we passed by. The coach we were on was comfortable and luxurious. No expense spared for the campers, it seemed. Still, something felt off. I shrugged it off and looked out the window. We arrived at the camp. The girls poured out of the bus, laughing and talking excitedly. The counselors hurried to the large cabin on the hill. A tall woman with long light brown hair walked out. She was strikingly beautiful, and I couldn't help but glance at her. She greeted the new arrivals and spoke with the counselors. Could she be the owner? I quickly dismissed the thought and struggled with my robes as the girls behind me untied me. "Thanks," I said as they smiled. "No problem," the blonde girl replied. I grabbed my backpack and rushed out. The beautiful woman approached us. "Jamie." "Alana," she called, hugging them. "Hi, Sarah. Looks like this year will be great," Jamie said with a smile. Sarah laughed. "Right, you are Jamie," she replied. "And you are?" "Adam Sky, ma'am," I said. "Well, Adam, I'm Sarah Ivy, owner and head counselor of Emerald Lake. Please take a seat over there," she said, pointing to a podium in front of a row of 30 or more seats. The girls stood, but all the boys made Emerald Lake, she announced, and everyone cheered. "Now each boy will be assigned to a cabin. Adam Sky, you will be assigned to cabin 7. I smiled eagerly and stood up. "Before we assign staff, I want to teach you about your role. Girls," she added with a sly smile. In that moment, Jamie, the girl from the bus, along with a group of younger girls, grabbed me and dragged me to the stage, pushing me against a wall. Jamie picked up a wooden staff from behind the podium, grinning. She struck me with the staff, hitting my ribs, legs, and shoulders. Each blow brought a sharp scream of pain. She spun it around and slammed it into my back. When they finally let go, I collapsed to the floor, gasping in pain. Jamie smiled at my suffering. The girls rolled me over and began applying makeup, lip gloss, mascara, blush, and eyeshadow. They laughed as they stripped me of my clothes, forcing me into a frilly pink maid's uniform with lace and ribbons. They glued a wig to my head, then placed a tiara on it. Fake nails were carefully attached to my fingers and toes, and they painted them, adding silky socks that went up to my knees. They waxed my chest, legs, and underarms before strapping stilettos onto my feet. A pink ribbon was tied around my neck, and they sprayed me with perfume. "Wait," one of the girls said, her laughter echoing as she whispered something to the others. The girls holding my arms and legs down burst into laughter. With quick hands, the girl removed my skirt and top and ran off. The others kept laughing. I felt a wave of fear as my mind raced. She returned with a hanger and they lifted me up, still laughing. I saw what it was, something that made me struggle. It was a bra and thong, and they began filling the bra with balloons to give it shape. They put it on me, fastening the strap. I was shoved down, my hair falling into my face. And then something slipped off my legs. There I was, half-dressed from the waist down. "Look how small it is," one girl cried, and then kicked me in an area that caused intense pain. Cried out. Something silky was pulled up my legs and I heard the snap of elastic as they replaced the uniform. They stood me up, still laughing. Sarah smiled. This is your punishment. The more you resist, the more feminine you become. Girls, you may start with your maids. And remember, boys, you will address every female as mistress and bow to them, Sarah said. The shocked boys were grabbed and dragged off while the girls laughed. I struggled, my heart pounding with adrenaline. The shoes were uncomfortable and the maid's skirt was tight, making it difficult to take large steps. The thong chafed my legs. Even though I was a track team star, running felt impossible in this outfit. I tripped and fell flat on my face. Sarah helped me up, her smile wide. You didn't think I'd let you run, did you? She said. I don't understand. I stammered. Exactly. Our kind only understands one thing in this world: control. Don't deny it. I saw the way you looked at me earlier. You'll learn soon enough. When I'm finished with you and your mistresses, you'll never think of hurting a woman again. You'll be serving them for the rest of your life, she screamed at me. I was stunned. What do you mean? I asked. Oh, you didn't know. This is a place where women come to train and feminize boys like you. We break down your masculinity and turn you into the perfect maid. Someone who serves a woman's every need, she said. Slavery is illegal, I said, trying to stand my ground. Not here. It's the latest trend. And at the end of each year, I give you a special gift that keeps you obedient and feminine forever, she said, giggling. Michelle, she said with a smile. That will be your name. Now girls, let's show our little princess her room. Jamie grabbed me and dragged me away. We walked down a dirt road toward a row of large log cabins. I was still in shock as we entered one of the cabins. Inside there was a fireplace, a couple of couches, and rows of neatly made beds. I looked around nervously. On a glass shelf were whips, staffs, and shackles. Hanging from the center of the room were shackles about 6 feet off the ground. Fear gripped me as I noticed the vanities, one of which was filled with makeup. There were also restraints tied to the chairs. They dragged me into a dark, damp back room. Using the shackles on the wall, they hung me by my arms, and with chains they tied my legs together. I looked around in fear. There were syringes, whips, wigs, girls' clothes, and other devices I didn't understand. The girls laughed loudly. This is your room. You're going to pay for trying to run away, princess, Jamie said, laughing as she shut the door. Fear and panic overtook me as I lay there, eventually falling asleep. The sound of chains rattling woke me up. Jamie and the girls were untying me, all dressed in nightgowns. Looks like someone's awake, Jamie said mockingly. She placed a key into the locks on my shackles, and I fell forward. Get up, a girl ordered, kicking me in the face. I scrambled to my feet, only to be dragged to the center of the room. They stripped me down to just the thong and placed me in shackles, tightening them so my feet were bound. Now you've been very bad, haven't you? Jamie said, circling me with a whip. I am a boy, I stammered, trying to find courage, but fear set in. My body shook uncontrollably. Oh, someone's confused, Jamie said with a mocking tone. Michelle, you're always the girly girl we know and love. But you tried to run away. We can't have that, can we? She cracked the whip across my bare legs, and I screamed in pain. The girls were holding something over a lighter, the tip glowing red. It was a needle. I struggled, terrified. Please don't pierce my ears. I screamed, and the cabin filled with laughter. We have something even better than that for you, Jamie said. And the girls started carving something into my skin. The pain was excruciating and blood pooled on the wooden floor as I screamed louder. Suddenly, there was a knock on the door and another group of girls piled in, throwing a boy in a light red uniform at my feet. He was crying, reaching for my clothes. Just kill me, he sobbed, but the counselor kicked him sharply in the back, sending him crashing to the floor. Brittany, Jamie cried, rushing to hug her. The counselor smiled, grabbed a chair from the vanity, and pushed the boy into it, securing him with locks. Stop crying. You'll ruin your makeup, she scolded, slapping him. The girls then held up a vial of blue liquid and injected it into my neck. I went out cold. When I awoke, my hands and the boys were tied together, our legs bound as well. We were unclothed, bruised, and our ears had been pierced. I struggled, realizing something wet and warm was on my lips. I was kissing him. We pulled away quickly, disgusted. "Ah, nasty," cried. The campers snapped a few pictures and laughed, taking more photos as they taunted us. "This will look great on our blog," one of them said with a laugh. "Looks like the couple woke up," Brittany added. And the room erupted in laughter. They untied us and gave us our clothes back. "Come on, James," Brittany said, dragging him out. Just as I thought it was over, Jamie slapped me hard across the head with a mop, then threw a pail of water at me. "Caught it just in time. Get cleaning. I want all these stains gone in 10 minutes, she shouted, and I did as I was told. 2 weeks had passed at the camp and I had gotten to know James better, though the pain had not stopped. Jamie and Brittany had started eating in front of us, telling us we couldn't have any food because we had to maintain our garish figures. They gave us only 3 Slim Shakes and a piece of bread a day, part of their plan to weaken us. One day, while cleaning Sarah's large house, I came across something strange. It was a sealed letter addressed to Goddess Mistress Ivy. I remembered my mom mentioning women who called themselves goddess mistresses, beautiful women who tortured men and turned them into submissive servants. I opened the seal and pulled out a cell phone. When I turned it on, a message appeared. "Dear Mistress Ivy, your camp concept is proving to be a huge success. The summer camp is creating the perfect environment for our future maids and slaves. We've produced the finest submissive servants the goddesses have ever seen, and women are eagerly lining up to buy them. Sending unruly boys to an all-female summer camp and shaping their minds was an excellent idea. However, we are running low on participants. Please select 2 boys and administer the drugs we'll be sending shortly. One will help develop feminine features such as chests, while the other will alter their mindset, transforming them into perfect future goddesses. This may be your finest work to date. We've also captured the writer from the underground male magazine, the one who insulted us and called us ugly feminist lesbians. We're holding his punishment at my house on August 1st. Be sure to bring the newly transformed girls with you for further training. As for the writer's punishment, please bring whips. We plan to torture him mercilessly until he begs for mercy, and then we will feminize him. For the rest of the boys, use the usual drugs. We need more maids and slaves. Nature accidentally eliminated one of her own slaves. He had harmed her daughter, the fool. Looking forward to seeing you on the 1st. We have much to discuss and catch up on. Your old friend and partner, Mistress Evelyn Smith. P.S. Don't forget to bring a gift for Wu's daughter. It's her 5th birthday. I stared in shock. I quickly put the phone back into the envelope, sealed it and placed it back. "Surprised I'm a goddess," Sarah said as she walked toward me. I stepped back, but a package slipped through the door. Sarah opened it and pulled out 2 syringes, moving toward me with a determined expression. "Welcome to the Goddess Society," she said, injecting me with one. The other followed shortly after. I collapsed and lost consciousness. The sound of sirens woke me. A policeman helped me up and I noticed James in an ambulance that quickly drove off. "Seems the woman identified as Mr. Sarah Ivy escaped with the others," the officer said. "Hey, is this kid a boy or a girl?" asked a medic. "He's fading out. Get him to the hospital," someone called out. My vision blurred and I fell into a deep sleep. I awoke in a hospital bed. My mother and 2 sisters standing over me. "Thank God you're alive," my mother exclaimed, pulling me into a hug. I pushed her away, my voice high-pitched. "You sent me to that nightmare," shouted. "We couldn't reverse the effects of the drugs," the doctor explained. "You are a girl now." "Sorry. I always wanted a little sister I could relate to, but not like this." My oldest sister, Lindsay, said softly. "I thought sending you there would help you connect with your feminine side, Michelle." "I'm so sorry," my mother said, her voice full of regret. A girl walked into the room. "Adam, come on. If we're stuck like this, let's get some clothes and makeup," she said. I laughed. "You're right, James. I shouted, and we ran out of the hospital gowns, both laughing. Looks like I have 3 daughters now, my mother said, her voice a mix of resignation and amusement. My sisters laughed. Come on, let's paint her room pink, my youngest sister cheered. I can finally burn all his old sexist clothes, they joked, and they ran out of the room laughing. Maybe some good can come out of this, my mother said, walking out and shutting the door behind her. I eventually got used to my new life. While Sarah had gotten away, life had surprisingly turned out okay. I was the most beautiful girl in the neighborhood, and though I identified as a lesbian, I didn't want to be gay. James, now Jenny, remained my best friend. No one ever mocked me again. My story spread across the news and I gained instant fame. Life was good. If you appreciated this story and wish to show your support, please consider leaving a like and subscribing to my channel.